This session is dedicated towards understanding polynomials, and we'll be discussing the concepts and a few questions along with solutions. And you'll also be given a few questions as your assignments. So let us proceed. Now, in case of polynomials, we have an expression which consists of a number of terms separated by plus or minus. As you can see, qx equals to 4x squared plus 3x squared plus x plus 5. In this polynomial, 4, 3, etc. are called the coefficients, whereas x is the variable, and the powers that the x is raised to are called as exponents. Now, one thing is to be kept in mind, that the exponential powers can be positive in case of polynomials, but they cannot be negative, they cannot be fractional. So polynomials can be categorized on the basis of degree and also on the basis of number of terms. On the basis of degree, they can be classified as constant polynomials, linear polynomials, quadratic polynomials, and cubic polynomials. And as you can notice, the constant polynomials do not have a variable associated with them, whereas the linear, quadratic, and cubic polynomials consist of variables. And in case of linear, the variables are of a maximum power of 1. The quadratic polynomials have variables carrying maximum power up to 2, and cubic polynomials have a degree of 3. Now, degree refers to the maximum power carried by a variable in this expression. On the basis of number of terms, if it has got a single term, it's a monomial. If it has got 2 terms, it's a binomial. If it's got 3 terms, it's a trinomial, and henceforth. What is important is there is something called a zero polynomial. A zero polynomial refers to a polynomial where the coefficients are all 0. So here you're given the example qx. Assume in case of qx, all the coefficients are 0. That is, in place of 4x squared, it's mentioned as 0x squared. In place of 3x squared, it's mentioned as 0x squared, and so on. A zero polynomial yields a 0 as a result. Now, the important aspects that we're going to look at in this session will be how to find zeros and factorization and remainder theorem, right? So let us see how to find zeros. First, let us go through an example, and then you'll be able to better understand how zeros are to be found out. You have got a few questions. So the first question is 3x plus 1. Now the expression is 3x plus 1, and you have to find the zeros, right? Here you will have a single zero. Now how does it work? To find out the zero of an expression, you first equate it to 0, right? 0 is also called as root. The root of a polynomial refers to the value of the variable for which the polynomial gives us a 0. So what value must we use in place of x so that 3x plus 1 becomes 0? That value is called as 0 of the polynomial. So यहाँ पे we can write 3x plus 1. minus 1 equals to 0 minus 1. You can see how when we are subtracting 1 from the left hand side of the equal sign, we are also subtracting 1 from the right hand side. In fact, this is the origin of the transposition thing that you have read by now. In case of transposition, how do we work? If it's mentioned 2x minus 3 equals to 0, what do people do is, you straight away write 2x equals to 3. This is how it works. इसका origin यहाँ पे है. So when we subtract 1 from both sides, यहाँ पे we target that the 1 from left hand side is eliminated. So plus 1 and minus 1 eliminate each other, and eventually we have got 3x equals to minus 1, or x equals to minus 1 by 3. So this is the 0 of the polynomial 3x plus 1. Now there are also other expressions mentioned here, like other polynomials. Let us try to see if their zeros are found in a similar manner. The second expression is x squared equals to 1. So if we have x squared equals to 1, अब ये मत पूछना x squared equals to 1 कहाँ से आया. For simplification purposes, the original expression was x squared minus 1 equals to 0, because we first equated to 0, and then we solve it. X squared minus 1 plus 1 equals to 0 plus 1. That means x squared equals to 1. I hope now you people are clear about it. So x squared equals to 1. So फिर x का वैल्यू क्या हो सकता है? We can write x as square root of 1. Square root of 1 1 भी हो सकता है. Square root of 1 minus 1 भी हो सकता है, because 1 का स्क्वायर भी 1 होता है, एंड minus 1 को अगर स्क्वायर कर दो तब भी वो 1 ही आता है, because minus 1 into minus 1 equals to minus minus plus and 1 plus 1. So that means it's got two zeros. One is minus 1 and another one is plus 1. Similarly, you can try solving the other two questions by yourselves. Let us proceed to the next question. Now this question is a type of question that deals with remainder theorem. Here you are given to show that x plus 4 x minus 3 and x minus 7 are factors of x cube minus 6x squared minus 19x plus 84. So let us first try if x plus 4 is to be shown as a factor. One basic point that I would like to remind everyone is that we can say 2 is a factor of 12. 2 is a factor of 12. And as a consequence of that, हमारे बात का मतलब ये भी है कि जब हम 12 को 2 से डिवाइड करते हैं, हमारा जो रिमाइंडर आता है, दैट रिमाइंडर इज 0. सो यहाँ पे भी whenever we say that x plus 4 is a factor of the following polynomial or the following expression, we must mean that if we divide this by x plus 4, हमारा रिमाइंडर 0 रहेगा. Now how do we approach it? First let us find the 0 of the expression x plus 4. x plus 4 का 0 क्या है? For that we need to equate it to 0 first. And now we have x plus 4 minus 4 equals to 0 minus 4. 4 and 4 get eliminated and x equals to minus 4. So the 0 we obtained for x plus 4 is x equals to minus 4. Now how do we find the remainder? To find the remainder, we replace x by minus 4 in this expression. That will give us minus 4 to the power of 3 minus 6 minus 4 to the power of 2 minus 19 into minus 4 प्लस 84. एंड इसको हमें 0 से इक्वेट करना है बिकॉज दिस इज द रिमाइंडर एंड यहाँ पे रिमाइंडर 0 है. माइनस 64 माइनस 96 माइनस एंड यहाँ पे 2 माइनस है, सो माइनस माइनस इज एक्चुअली प्लस 76 प्लस 84 and this equals to 0. Since this equals to 0, it is verified that x plus 4 is a factor of x to the power of 3 minus 6x squared minus 19x plus 84. Similarly, your task is to verify if x minus 3 and x minus 7, rather do not verify, show. Solve the expression, find the zeros of x minus 3 and x minus 7, replace the zeros in place of x in this expression and verify if they are the factors. We move on to the next question. For what value of a, x minus 5 is a factor of x cubed minus 3x squared plus ax minus 10. Now you can see that here gx equals to 0, यानी कि यहाँ पे भी हमने पहले x minus 5 को 0 से इक्वेट किया है एंड उसके बाद x का वैल्यू हमने ऑब्टेन किया है 5. दिस मीन्स द 0 ऑफ gx इज 5 एंड x का वैल्यू जो 5 हमें मिला है, वी हैव रिप्लेस्ड the x in this expression by 5 and we have solved it, and ultimately you must calculate it yourself. Calculate करो and I hope you will get a equals to minus 8. ये अलग बात है. If I am at fault, you can let me know in the comment section. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. Let us try another question. Find the value of a such that x minus 4 is a factor of 5x cubed minus 7x squared minus ax minus 28. So यहाँ पे क्या करना है, gx को 0 के साथ इक्वल लेना है एंड x का वैल्यू निकालना है. दैट यू फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ x और यू फाइंड द रूट ऑफ gx. gx का रूट तुम निकाल लिए 4 एंड आफ्टर फाइंडिंग द रूट ऑफ gx you put it in place of x. You do 5 into 64 minus 7 into 16 minus a into 4 minus 28 equals to 0. एंड यहाँ से a का वैल्यू निकाल सकते हो. सो फाइंड आउट द वैल्यू ऑफ a एंड लेट मी नो डाउन इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. You can note that this is page 7. While mentioning the answer in the comment section, write page 7, a equals to and so on. Again, this is a similar question. Here gx equals to x plus 2 and x equals to minus 2. As you must recall, we first equate gx to 0 and then find the value of x, and यहाँ पे x का वैल्यू हमने डिटरमिन किया है -2, and we substitute the value in place of x in this expression, and ultimately we should get the answer that a equals to -4. Try करो. Let me know if you are getting a similar answer. This is a very similar question and you can try solving it. After you solve it, comment the answer below mentioning page number 9. A equals to whatever the value that you have obtained. Now, this question is a little different from the questions that you have solved so far. What you have to do here is, first you have to find the zeros for x squared minus 4 equals to 0. In this expression, you can find out that x can be either plus 2 or minus 2. And there what you do is replace plus 2 in place of x in this expression, and you can obtain this expression. And when you replace minus 2 in place of x, you can obtain this expression. When you add both the expressions, you can find out that 16 minus 16 and plus 16 plus 2b and minus 2b, these terms get cancelled, right? And eventually you will be left with 32a equals to 32. From there you will obtain a equals to 32 by 32, and that means a equals to 1. After obtaining a equals to 1, you substitute the value of a in the first expression, and from there you will find that 16 equals to minus 2b. That will give you the result b equals to 16 by minus 2, that is minus 8. So a and b should be equals to minus 8 and 1. B should be equal to minus 8 and a should be equal to 1. Try solving the question and see if you find the same answer. Now this question appears to be different, but it can be solved in a similar fashion. For example, we first take x plus 1 equals to 0, and then we take x plus 2 equals to 0. From the first expression we get x equals to minus 1, and in the second expression we get x equals to minus 2. And now your task is you replace the x in this expression by minus 1 first, and then obtain an expression, then replace x by minus 2 and you'll get a different expression, just as we did in the previous question. You can add those expressions and solve this question. See if it works out or not. Worry not. If it is difficult, then you can expect to find a solution in the next session. Again, this is a simple question. You do not need to go through multiple rounds. You can just equate x minus 2 to 0 and you get x equals to 2. Then substitute the value of 2 in this expression and in this expression. And then check if x minus 2 is a factor of expression 1 or if x minus 2 is a factor of expression 2. This is also a question whose answer you need to comment in the comment section. You can mark this is page number 12, right? So mention the answer and in bracket write page 12, P12. Similarly, this is page 13. Check if x minus a is a factor of these two expressions. You can take x minus a equals to 0, then you get x equals to a. So basically x की जगह a का वैल्यू डालो और ये दोनों एक्सप्रेशंस को चेक करो ये वेरीफाई होते हैं कि नहीं, या फिर x माइनस a इन दोनों का फैक्टर है या नहीं है. Comment the answer with P13 in bracket to denote that this is page 13. I believe that will be enough for today. So today we went through some concepts. We practiced finding zeros. And we solved a few problems of remainder theorem. Thank you. Signing off. This is Anshuman Mishra.